primary option is Wellbeats. We also have the option of Advogym, and they really differ based on what you're looking for or what you're able to do within your department. We'll talk about the first one, which is Wellbeats. And basically, these are applications that you can download on your phone, or your student body can download on their phone, and be able to access hundreds of workouts, nutrition. They can download through the app. They can get recipes. There's a lot of mindfulness on there in terms of relaxation and just overall wellness techniques. And it's really been something that it started in the multifamily and vertical market, where if you lived in a downtown apartment complex, you had this app built into your rent for the month. So you would download the app and you'd, screen mirror it up to your TV, or maybe a TV in the fitness center within the multi-housing or the residential community. And you had this application to do tons of workouts, tons of just different points and recipes and all kinds of things. That it's not really just about working out, but it's an all-encompassing thing in terms of overall mind, body, and mental wellness. So how they started to kind of deviate from that market of vertical and hospitality or vertical and multi-housing was they got kind of bombarded during COVID with, hey, you guys may be an option for our campus. We can't, our rec center's closed, or we have limited access to Group X. We need an option. And so, people started reaching out to Wellbeats and saying, hey, are you guys an option for campuses? So they in turn reached out to us and said, hey, we're getting a lot of traction with signing up colleges, and you guys are a vendor. Is this something you could help us with, basically? So we began down the path and the process, and Robert Morris is one of the Wellbeats customers, and most recently IUP with Mike. And basically what it is you have the ability to sign up. If you were to have them to sign up 5,000 students and it was $1 a month per student, it'd be $5,000 per month, which is a pricey tag to not know if the students are going to use it or not, right? So we developed a structure where you can offer it to your entire student body, but you only get charged for 25% of your student body until you reach that download threshold, which means if you have 1,000 students on campus, well, you would pay, let's just use a number of, you would pay $2 a student for 25 students, right? So it'd be $500. Let's just use that as an arbitrary number. So if you went over that, then you would increase pay. But for the beginning, you start with 25% of the student population. So if that, if you have 5,000 students, you could pay for $1,250. And then, the idea, I guess, and I'll let Mike speak to it too a little bit, but is if you reach that threshold, that's a good thing. That means 25% of your student body have downloaded the app to the phone, and they're using the workouts and the nutrition apps and the mindfulness that comes along with that. So it was a way for, I know some of my schools, I don't know about in the eastern part of the state, but in the western part of the state here, to really say, look, we understand that we have limited access to our facility, but we're trying to go above and beyond and provide you something that, is something you could take with you, whether you're at your home, whether you're at your dorm room, wherever you are. You can have this app on your phone. And personally, I know that we have an account, and my wife screenshots it up on the TV here and does the workouts from there. And I think it's a plug and play solution for what a lot of people are looking for, because You don't have to have your own instructors. And it's not just about working out. There's a ton of things that are involved in it that seem like fit the narrative that everybody needs right now during the COVID storm. So.
Yeah, this is the bottom right of your screen is important too. Wellbeats is compliant with key regulatory standards, HIPAA, SOC Type 2, GDPR. Those are things that are very often overlooked. And if you're pushing your own Group X and your own instructors are kind of creating content and all that, a lot of this stuff is important that might not come top of mind to someone who's just kind of creating their own stuff. Which we love people that are doing that and that are have their own channels and are using programs like IM Leagues or similar Les Mills type things. But if you're creating your own content, we're not sure if all that is compliant with all these standards that are out there. So it's a really nice thing. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything is going to be up to every standard in the industry.
You guys ready to try this video?
Yeah, is that the next slide?
Believe so. All right, hopefully the audio comes through.
What a beat, what a tune. We can go right into Advogen, but I don't know, Robbie, if you wanted Mike to comment at all about his use of Wellbeats while we're still on that, or not.
Yeah, Mike, if you wouldn't, mind talking about your process through it. I know that you were one of the first that signed up campus wide, and you guys rolled out a couple of weeks ago, correct? So it's kind of getting traction just now.
We ran it out November 2nd, last Monday. All the students on campus and off campus got the email to start this program. But the way it started for us was we're just like everybody else. We're partially shut down. We only have 1,000 or 2 students here on campus with 10,000 students enrolled at IUP, and they're all paying an activity fee. So we're getting some grief from those students who aren't here that can't use the fitness center of what what are they getting for it? So we started talking to Wellbeats, and they had, like Robbie said, they had this whole different model, and we talked and talked and talked. And what we were able to do was download all 10,000. Every student got an email that they can download this app. We are only paying for 25% of that, up to 2,500 people. Or if we go beyond the 2,500, we'll pay for the extras. And if we go beyond that, I'll be happy to pay the extras, because I'd love for people to use this. That video they just showed is actually, as much as I've been involved, it's the first time I've seen that video. That's a great video to show what they're about. But I'll tell you, after we got together with Wellbeats and they understood us and we understood them of what a college campus needs, they've been very easy to work with. I offered it out last week to all our coaches. I had a volleyball player in here today. They are going home for Thanksgiving. Coach has made it a priority that the volleyball team, she's going to give them videos to use when they're home over Thanksgiving and beyond, to keep them engaged in programs that they don't have when they're at home. So it's really worked out well for us. Tomorrow we're going to offer to all our kinesiology professors. So I'm able to go beyond just the students, and I can add people in on my own. So I've been adding these, because we're not at the 2,500 yet, so it doesn't cost me anything extra. So I'm adding these students, these professors in to use it in their classes and in their programs. And I think it's going to work very well for us. We launched it last Monday, Wednesday morning. So Monday and Tuesday, we had 167 people actually download the app and start using it. So I'm very encouraged by that quick turnaround. We've been doing a big marketing campaign on campus to try to get more kids involved. And I'm hoping we hit those students that aren't at home or aren't here, that are at home.
And I think Wellbeats assist with that marketing campaign too. Don't they send them an email once every couple of weeks, just reminding them that, hey, you can still do this, you can still download the app? And
so once they are downloaded, they will receive an email immediately saying welcome and all this stuff. And for the next 2 months, they will receive periodic emails saying, here's your stuff. And we are able to put some of our logos and some of our information in. So it kind of looks like a combined email. If you weren't on that email group last Monday and you get it today, for example, you'll get that first email, and that's where your marketing campaign starts. So it's real nice the way it works, and it just comes automatically. I actually have a meeting at 11 o'clock to talk about more marketing with them. So I'm hoping to learn a little bit more about marketing and things we can do for the students out there to get them to actually download it.
And how about your process on campus, Mike? How obviously it started with us having the conversation, but then you ran it up the flagpole to the powers that be as, an option. What was that experience like?
So we're a little bit different, I think, than a lot of campuses. I'm not an IUP employee. We're an affiliate. So we needed IUP's blessing to do this, and they were great about it. It was a file that they gave to us that was able to download every student and give them the opportunity to sign up. So it's been great. We got with the person at IT, our vice president of student affairs on campus, was very much a favor of it because of the mindfulness and because of the nutrition part of it, more so I think than even the fitness part of it. So that there is those two other areas that are there that our vice president really liked, and I think we sold them on that part of it more than the fitness part of it.
Yeah, I noticed under the mindfulness they have meditation classes, things you can do at your desk while you're sitting there. Some of these students are there at their desk for 8 hours a day. I know with youth and high school kids, getting them to do something, play them a video where they're moving, I think is really neat too. Not just a workout, but actually doing things while you're sitting at your desk.
And I think, Robbie, we talked a little bit earlier, and I've been thinking about it since I talked to you earlier today, the quarantine students on campus. This is some of these students, the volleyball player was in my office this morning. She was quarantined twice this semester, once for close contacts that she never got it, and then the second time where she had COVID. So she was 28 days in quarantine. We didn't have the app at the time, but she says that would have been great. She didn't leave her apartment for those 28 days, and it would have been great for her to have it. And Wellbeats allows you to choose the equipment you have. So if you don't have anything, you tell them that, and they'll send you videos that relate to that. If you have kettlebells, you can put that in, and they'll show you different videos with kettlebells. So it will adapt to what equipment you have, where you're at the time you're doing it.
Yeah, that's one of the main things on the main page of the app is what equipment do you have? And you click on kettlebells, or you click on yoga mat, or you click on resistance bands, and it's going to pull up all the workouts that correspond with what you have. You can click, I have nothing. I have no equipment at all. It's going to pull up those workouts. And that kind of is funny because Chad, we were the first ones to put the quarantine packages together for the kids that are in the rooms. And it was the foam roller, yoga mat, resistance bands, and a med ball. And that was going to, that's going to lead to them being able to do a bunch of different things in the room. But if they have that app on their phone, or they can pull Wellbeats up on their computer, it's going to give them a whole bunch of structured workouts to do with that equipment.
Hey, Robbie, I had a question about that then. Since we bought those, is there an option, and this is kind of what we're looking for, because we've talked to a couple other providers for something like this too. Are we able to purchase, as a department, say like 20 licenses for this app and then hand those out to the people that are in quarantine so they don't incur any of those costs, but I can pay for that out of the budget? And then once they're out of quarantine, I can pass those on to somebody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. The first time that we put this structure together, we worked with them was 25% of the student body, because it really makes it easy. Not that, you're going to need that many, but to offer it to everybody, so you're not, it's the same across the board, and then ensuring that those people would sign up might be the way to go. But I could talk to them about, could you purchase an allotment of them to utilize? And I don't know that you could change names. My thought on that is doubtful that you could move it from one person to the other. I think it would have to be, once that person signed up, they have it until you pull them off that role.
Okay.
And they leave campus, or, you purge that role and take them off and add somebody else. But,
and even if there is a way for me to pay for it for people for a month that are in, or two, like I said, I don't know if that's even an option, but if there's a way for us to buy a group of those, and even if they're linked to a certain person for a month or whatever that is, we don't have, it's like, I can't remember who was it, Mike, that you were talking about, a dedicated recreation fee. We don't have that dedicated allotment. So X amount of money comes directly to me. But I do think that it's something that might be nice to give to those people that are in quarantine, kind of like what we talked about, that we can, they have something to do with that equipment then.
Yeah, let's go and we could set up a call. I could talk to Wellbeats and see if we could set up a call with that.
Awesome, thank you.
Robbie and Chad, in my dealings with them, I think it's worth the conversation, because I think the college environment is so new to them that I think they are willing to listen and learn and adapt to what the college market needs more than the private sector that they're used to working in. So I think it's worth a conversation.
Yeah, and I'll give you an example. For multi-housing, they have, if you have 500 residents in your apartment complex, all 500 get it, and they just pay for 500 a month, as part of their, rental or HOA, whatever it is, they pay that. So when you get into a college market, you have a much larger group of people, and they understand that you don't want to pay for all 5,000 up front. That's where that 25% came with the university and college market. The goal was, if I can get 1 out of every 4 people on my campus to download this app and use it, we're in a great place.
Yeah, happy to connect anybody with what they need after that. For a little bit of a different feel, we have a different solution for folks that might have a lot of their own programming that they might be putting out. I know some schools are doing that right now, might be using it through a different kind of program or vector, but this is one in partnership with Precor and Sony. It's called Advogym. I could really simplify what this app is. So this app has canned workouts. They have 500 or so workouts that are always increasing. You could do personal training just based on, a certain person downloads the app, then who that person is, and a personal trainer can connect with them, but you can do it virtually. And it's also offers you your own YouTube channel to put on your group exercise videos, no matter what you want to do. So if you have a lot of people that are creating your programming on campus and you just want a smooth and cheap way to get it out to someone or out to your whole student body, AdvoGym's a great solution for it. Basically just hosts a YouTube channel. You have your personal training that you connect and know who's watching and know who is downloading the app and who's getting your information individually. And also has that ability to have your some canned workout. It's not as extensive as Wellbeats. This is not a plug and play option. This is for those campuses that have the ability to create their own content and they need a good system to get it out to their student body. And the great thing is, compared to some other programs, this is a really cheap solution for an unlimited number of app downloads. It's $1,500 a year. And the catch of it is you need to be able to create your own content. That does have preloaded exercise and videos for some guidance, but that's not the point of it. The point of it is if you're creating your own group exercise, whether it be a spin class, a pump class, yoga class, doesn't matter. Your instructors can easily get it out onto this platform and then also utilize that personal training aspect of things. Like I said, for a yearly cost of unlimited downloads of $1,500 a year it's a really good deal for those campuses that have that ability. So that's a really simplified version of it, but that's how it's most heavily leveraged in the college environment. So it's a good option to make things really smooth and not really hit your pocketbook too hard if you have that ability to create content. I don't know what's next here on this next slide.
Yeah, do you want me to play the video next?
Oh yeah, this is just going to be an introduction from University of Georgia is using this system. So it's going to be it's a short video, and I know we have multiple videos here, but it's just kind of giving their take on things. It's the second day in a row I have to do this, but I do have to leave, so I'm going to be exiting because I have a infant that needs to go to a specialty dentist. So I'm sorry about that, but enjoy. And we're here to field questions for you all day long.
When we were looking for
Whoop, sorry about that. My bad. I'll go back. Oh my goodness.
when we were looking for a solution, we were looking for something that was going to offer ways that we could get our on-demand fitness classes out to our users, to our pass holders. And we settled on AdvoGym because it gave us exactly what we wanted as far as the ability to upload on-demand fitness videos, so pre-recorded fitness videos. And then also it gave an extra component that we actually weren't looking for at the time, but now we're really excited to use, and that's the personal training and the small group training functionality too.
So it looks like we've got a question here for you from Corey. So Lisa, do you think you'll continue using this beyond COVID times?
Yes, 100%. You know, I think we have all heard that, you know, virtual isn't going away. You know, we're here, kind of here to stay. And so it's definitely going to be a solution that we continue to use. It's kind of the all-in-one package. And that's really what we were looking for. I think this gives us a really comprehensive tool that we can use, and I think it will only get better.
So I think if you took something away from both options is if you're looking at Wellbeats, that's a plug and play system. All the content's there, all the everything is provided. If you use AdvoGym, it is a little bit more expensive, Wellbeats. If you use AdvoGym, you're getting a little less expensive, less of the nutrition and mindfulness, and the ability to upload your own classes if you have them. With Wellbeats, you really don't need to. There's so many options in terms of workouts that, you know, all of that's already provided for you. These pictures here are just, Josh and I thought it'd be a good idea to put in some pictures of how some people are running some classes, how they're spacing out their cardio. Just some examples of what other people are doing that we thought were good ideas, and just show you what some other facilities are looking like right now. Is that the last slide, Jess?
That was the last one.
Okay. So Dan, I think at that point, you know, if you want to talk about anything in terms of, if anybody wants to ask any questions in terms of both programs, happy to help.
I'd say I personally didn't have any kind of questions on the program, but I was kind of curious to see. You kind of saw like a snapshot of what Westchester's layout looked like, just to kind of hear maybe what other people's layouts might look like, and even really if you kind of are offering anything like in person.
I was looking at your picture, Dan, and it looks very much like our gymnasium right now. We've got 3 courts, and we are every hour switching to a new court to do a different group fitness class, and we're just kind of rotating them around. But our setup is very similar to what you have, so it makes me feel good that we didn't just make that up, and we're doing something that everyone else is doing.
I'm glad to hear that too, that we're not the only ones doing what we thought looked right. But that's interesting. So you switch up courts every class or every?
Yeah, that way we can be cleaning the one court and another class still going on. So we can only have 25 per time. So we're just moving the court and cleaning while the other class is going on.
Gotcha. And who does the cleaning? Is it your kind of staff, or is it custodial services?
We have a little bit of custodial help, but mostly students.
Okay.
So we have one custodian in there a couple times a week, but it's mostly students at this point.
Yeah, it's the same here with us. We do have like custodials. They do like once a day, like a detail, kind of just sweeping the courts. But yeah, we're the same way. Mostly students, kind of cleaning up, wiping things down. Yeah. Okay.
And we bought a couple of the spray guns off of Robbie, and I'm trying to think what they're called now. Oh, help me, Robbie.
The electrostatic spray gun.
Electrostatic, and we've got actually 4 of them. We got 2 of them from another source, but our students are spraying down all our cardio, all our stuff every night when we close.
We were kind of late to ordering the electrostatic sprays. We ordered some. We're hoping to kind of bring them out for the spring. Like, how was it with kind of getting your student staff like onboarded to using them? And does everybody feel pretty comfortable with it? Like at this point?
They're fighting over who gets to use them. Actually, they're pretty cool little. It's a little more souped up than a electric drill, but it kind of reminds you of that electric drill with a tank on it. The only negative that I've seen to it, you got to make sure every once a week, twice every 2 weeks, you wipe down stuff, because they do leave a residue. Like on our tables in our meeting room, you can start to see that chlorine buildup. So you got to go through and wipe them down and clean them. You know, that it's killing everything, but it's leaving a little bit of film. So you got to be careful of that. I wouldn't spray it right on a computer screen. We did that once, and it was kind of hard to get it clean, but everything else has been pretty good electronic wise.
Good to know.
I see that same process at some of the other schools in terms of the gym floors. Some of my other customers that I go to, they're doing the same thing. So I think that's a pretty common trend.
I guess I'd be curious to see, like, I guess even on this call, like in terms of group exercise, do a lot of people, are you having your own instructors run classes right now? Or are our schools not really offering it? Is it like, what's the kind of split of virtual in person? Like I'll say here, I think we offer, it's like an average about 4 classes in person a day. We try to have, I think it's 2 virtual per day. But really like our virtual has really just been through like an Instagram TV or Instagram Live, whatever it is. We haven't like truly used the platform. I'm kind of curious to see what other, schools or what you might be doing.
We're not offering anything at Clarion. We had 2 group fitness classes a day. That our classes were taught by a community member and no,
Mhm.
it wasn't affiliated with the university. And we currently aren't allowing anyone who isn't directly tied to the university in the building. So we had to stop our group fitness classes. We actually shut down this week in total just because we had an influx of positive cases on campus.
Mhm.
So we actually had to just shut the building down completely this week. But yeah, we weren't offering much. And we partnered early with a couple of different organizations that offered similar digital workouts. And we didn't get too much pull from those. And we also tried the Nike Fitness app that's very similar to this, and we didn't get too much interest in that also. But we've been running through the Runkeeper app, and we've worked with those folks. Our president offered $1,000 reward for whoever has like the most miles traveled and walking, biking, and all that. So we've had about 190 to 200 people using the Runkeeper app pretty steadily. But that's about all we have going here.
And that prize, everyone was eligible, like faculty, staff, and students, or was it just students?
Yeah, it's faculty, staff, and the top 5 has been just faculty and staff. There are some students who are pretty upset about it, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of been a different week for us here just because we've kept things so low. And then within the past 10 days, we've had 30 positive cases. So that's changed everything about how we're doing things here. And we're sort of having to restructure how we do everything right now.
Awesome. I guess like the only other question I really have written down, like kind of seeing how the fall went, seeing all the kind of things that went on with COVID, is there anything you're looking to do different in the spring that you haven't, different in the spring than you did this fall? Just kind of like learning from a mistake or anything like that?
I'll say we sort of jumped the gun and went over cautious. So all of our courts are shut down. There's no basketball. Really, we limit the amount of folks in every open space. So we went, as far on the safe side as possible, and realized that whatever happens wasn't necessarily going to happen in here. So we have one of our custodial staff who's cleans all day, and then we added student cleaning shifts. So with every work shift, we added a student whose job it is just to focus on cleaning every piece of machine after someone uses it. And that's been really good. But after seeing the fact that, regardless of what we do in here, things could still go south elsewhere, we're probably going to look to maybe scale things back then, just because, we could clean all day. It doesn't matter if we still have 300 kids going to a party. So.
Thanks for sharing. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add to that? Robbie, anything you'd like to add, maybe as like a closing remark?
Yeah, just thank you for the opportunity to present. This has been great, and seeing some of you guys I haven't seen in a while is really good. So, Josh and I are on campuses weekly. We're seeing a lot of things, whether I'm in Western Pennsylvania and West Virginia, he's in the eastern part of the state, but I'm always observing and trying to figure out what are they doing well and what are they doing well. And it seems like everybody's kind of got a good plan together, but there's little caveats here and there that people are doing different. So I just say, hey, reach out to us as a resource for, it doesn't always have to be about equipment. What are you seeing with, like you said, Group X? What are people doing with their cardio to space it out? What are they doing with their free weight? And then as we talked about yesterday, like indoor and outdoor equipment. What can we use indoor and outdoor, and what's going to be safe and warranty for that? So just, yeah, use us as a resource, just like you would your counterparts across the state, because we're always happy to help.
Thank you. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate everybody joining the call, and enjoy the rest of PersaFest. Thank you.
You too, guys. Take care.
Thank you.